In the Venn diagram shaded the region, you have to shade the region P complement union Q. Now how we will shade that? P complement means outside the P. Then it is union, so no need to go for the other color even. So P complement when it will be, so inside the P, everything, outside the P, you will shade whatever is outside the P. Shade that one. It will give us. Then Q. Q stands for inside the Q. As it is union, so we will not erase anything. That is, we shaded P complement union Q. It has been shaded. Simple one, it was part B. There are 50 students in the group. 34 have a mobile phone. 39 have a computer. 5 have no mobile phone and computer. Complete the Venn diagram to show this information. Now, whenever we have to complete the Venn diagram, for completion of the Venn diagram, always, what is the best thing? Fill this part, the common parts. We don't know how many total are here. Let's say X numbers are here. Now there are 34 that are having mobiles. So it means total here should be 34. But out of these 34, X we already wrote. So remaining will be 34 minus X. And there are 39 who have computer. Out of these 39, X we wrote already. So remaining are 39 minus X. And there are 5 have no mobile phone, no computer. Mean 5 are outside. And the total number of the students are 50. It means if I have to find the value of X, what I should do? 34 minus X plus X plus 39 minus X plus 5, that should be equal to 50. Their sum, the total is equal to 50. X will cancel with X. 34 plus 39, if I will take 4 plus 39 is 73. 73 plus 5 will be 78. So 78 minus X is equal to 50. So if I have to find X, X will be then 78 minus 50. So 78 minus 50, if I will do, it will give 28. So X is equal to 28. So just now you can replace it accordingly. I mean, here will be 28, 34 minus 28, remaining 6 here, 39 minus 28, 11 will be here. So we completed our Venn diagram in this way. All right, that easy way can be used. There are other ways also, but this is the easiest way that you can choose to find the to complete any Venn diagram, for any given Venn diagram to complete that one. All right. Now next. Yes. Here we have the Venn diagram shows the number of students in a group of 30 who have brothers, sisters, or cousins. The B stands for brothers, S for sisters, C for cousins, and the distribution is shown there. Write down the number of students who have brothers. Okay, total number of students who are having the brothers. It means you will consider the set B. How many students are inside the set B, the circle B? You will look for that one. Okay, looking at that one, if I will count, so how many these are? 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, 5 plus 3, 8. So I will say there are 8 students who are having brothers. Okay. Write down the number of students who have cousins but not sisters. Means student who have cousins but not sisters. Mean you will take the cousin set, but out of that sister you will not include. Mean you will not take this one, you will not take this one. And then these remaining 3 and 8, how many these are? 11 students are there who have brothers but no, who have cousins but no sisters. Then 3 is find number of elements in B union S union C whole complement. Okay, whole complement. If you see, it is said that B union S union C whole complement mean everything outside of these sets, mean outside of B, S and their combination. So that are 2 students are just outside of that one. So we'll say the number of students are 2. Yes. Then next is use set notation to describe the set of students who have both cousins and sisters but don't have brothers. Now, here we have to differentiate a set that's saying that who have cousins, both cousins and sisters. Okay, the word is used who have both cousins and sisters but not brothers. So what it can be? It can be cousin and sisters, but it's given that not brothers. Not brothers mean it will be B complement. Intersection B complement. That will be. So this will be the set notation that can be used. I mean, we can say they have cousins and sisters both, but not brothers. B complement will be for that. Number 5 is one student is picked at random from 30 students. Here there are 30 students that were given here. One student is picked up at random. Let me clear this row. Maybe we have to use or circle anything here. So can be utilized later on. Okay, one student is chosen at random from 30 students. Find the probability that this student has cousins. Now, how many students have cousins? Means how many cousins are including, because you are taking from total 30. So how many cousins are 3 plus 1, 4 plus 8, 12 plus 7, 19. So we will say the cousin probability is 19 out of 30. As the question is saying are chosen from the total 30. So that's why it will be accordingly. 19 are cousins out of total 30. So probability will be 19 over 30. The next question is 2 students are picked up at random. Now it's a random pick of the 2 students from the student who have cousins. Now how many students have cousin? 19 students have cousin. It means total will be 19. So when you will choose the first student will be 19 and the second, then the total will be remaining 18 because we are choosing at random, so we will not replace that. So out of that, both students have brothers. Now how many? Calculate the probability that the both students have brothers. We are selecting from the cousins that both have brothers. Okay, for brothers, how many are there? 4 are there because cousin and brothers. So will be 4. So I will say when it was the first pick, there were 4 out of 19, but one student is taken. Now remaining will be 3. So and total are 18 now. So that's why when 2 students are picked randomly, both students have the brothers. So that would be, we will say from here it will be 12 over, let me calculate that one. 4 over 19 multiply by 3 over 18. So 2 over 57 in the lowest form. 2 over 57 will be their probability. Now, next is one student is picked up at random from 30 students. Event A, this student has sisters. Okay, let me write first event A. In the event A, then how many total number of the students are there in the event A? 2 plus 1, 3, 7, 10 plus 5, 15. Okay, event A, the student has sisters. So there are 15 sisters actually. Event B, the student has cousins but does not have brothers. Cousin without brothers. Mean we will not choose these. The remaining are how many? 15 again. Here are also 15. Explain why event A and B are equally likely. Look at them. When I wrote their numbers, so they have equal numbers. As both event A and event B have equal numbers, so obviously their chances of occurring are equal. So the reason will be because event A and event B has equal numbers. So on that basis, we will say they are going to have the equal probability. Okay, next, here is question number 7. Simplify. Now, for the simplification of any algebraic fraction, what we need to do, we need to factorize the denominator and the numerator. In the if you look at in the numerator is of this form: a square minus b square. We can write it a plus b into a minus b. So it means I can write it x square minus 5 square over the denominator is a quadratic expression. For quadratic expression, we write the constant term with square term and this coefficient of x square and constant and multiply them. It makes minus 20. Now I will make all the possible factors of 20. It will be 1 into 20, 2 into 10, 4 into 5. So out of that, I will choose the one that can give me minus 1. So this pair can give me minus 1. If I say minus 4, plus 4 minus 5, plus 4x minus 5x. So that will be its pair. X square plus 4x minus 5x minus 20. Now, on this, apply this rule. It will become x minus 5 into x plus 5 divided by, on this one, make the pair of 2. Take common x from here, x plus 4, and minus 5 from this one, x plus 4. Because negative is taken common, so the sign will change. Finally, I will have x minus 5 into x plus 5 divided by x plus 4, because now I will take this x plus 4 common. So x plus 4 into x minus 5. This will cancel. So the remaining one is x plus 5 over x plus 4. That is the simplest form of this one. Part B is write as a single fraction in the simplest form. Now, to write as a single fraction when the fractions are added or subtracted, the best technique is making the denominator similar. So how I can make the denominator similar? Multiply up and down this one with x minus 1. Mean here multiply with x minus 1 up and down. And multiply this up and down with x. So I will have finally x minus 1 into x plus 5 over x into x minus 1 plus x into x plus 8 over x into x minus 1. So from here, if I will take this LCM now, x into x minus 1, so that will become x minus 1 into x plus 5 plus x into x plus 8. Now just simplify this one. X with this will become x square. X with 5 will be 5x. Minus 1 with x will be minus x minus 5. Plus now this x with x square. X with 8 will be 8x. And divided by x into x minus 1. Now x square plus x square will be 2x square. 5x minus x 4x. 4x plus 8x will be 12x. Minus 5 over x into x minus 1. Now we can try to factorize this one. 2 and 5 will make minus 10. So try to make the factor of 10. 1 into 10, 2 into 5. So no, it cannot be factorized further. This is its simplest form, you can say. We already wrote it in the simplest form, so that's it. No further simplification will be possible for that one. Okay, part C for this one. The curve has this equation. So find the dy over dx, the derived function of y. Dy over dx we have to find. We learned already the power rule will be applicable here to find the derivative of this one. So what will be dy over dx? It will be apply the 2 right as it is and apply the power rule for x cubed. Bring the power down, 1 minus from the power 3 minus 1. Minus 4 and now apply the power rule on this one. Bring the power down, 1 minus from the power. And for this constant the derivative is 0. That will become 6x square minus 8x. So that is its derivative. Part B is saying calculate the gradient of the curve at x is equal to 4. Now for finding the gradient is always equal to dy over dx at the given value. So we found already dy over dx. So just what the gradient will be, you need to put x is equal to 4 in this one, in this derivative. It will become 6 into 4 square minus 8 into 4. So what that value will be, 6 into 4 square minus 8 into 4. So that is 64. 64 is the gradient of the curve at x is equal to 4. And then part 3 is saying find the coordinates of the two stationary points on the curve. Now stationary point, for finding the stationary point, first find put the derivative equal to 0, because whenever you have to find the stationary points, so put dy over dx equal to 0. You will get the values of x. That values of x we will put in the original equation. So the complete stationary point we will get. Now the derivative was 6x square minus 8x. Put it equal to 0. From here I can take common. 2x is common. So 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Put 2x equal to 0. Or the other option is 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. So from here we will have x is equal to 0 over 2, which is 0. And 3x will be equal to 4. So x will be equal to 4 over 3. So this value of x put in the original equation. This is our original equation. Y is equal to 2x cube minus 4x square plus 6. Okay, in this equation put these values of x. So you will get the values of y. Okay, first I will put x is equal to 0. If I will put x is equal to 0, what y will be? Put here 0. 2 into 0 cube minus 4 into 0 square plus 6. So that will be 6. It means the first point will be 0, 6. Second point, as x is 4 over 3. So when I will put x is equal to 4 over 3, what this will become? It will become in this way. Y will be equal to 2 into 4 over 3 cube minus, I will have 4 into 4 over 3 square plus 6. Okay, so let's calculate. 2 into 4 over 3 square, cube, minus 4 into 4 over 3 square, then plus 6. So 98 over 27. So y is 98 over 27. You can say that. So these are our two stationary points that are on this curve, that are lying on this curve. We found these two stationary points. So always for finding the stationary point, simply you have to put the derivative equal to 0, find the values of x. These values of x put in the original equation. You will get the values of y. So that will give you the stationary points. Okay, next statistics portion. The table shows the information about the mass in kilograms of 50 children. The total number of children are 50. These groups are given there. You have to complete the cumulative frequency table. For cumulative frequency table, for example, the first one is will give you less than equal to 10. So that is 3, the same. Next one, less than equal to 25, mean you will add them. 19 plus 3 will be 22. Then less than equal to 35, you have to add all these. So 22 plus 3, that will make actually, if I will go to that one, 21 plus 19 plus 3, it will make 43. For less equal to 40, mean you will go all previous values. So it will make 48. For less equal to 50, mean all of these previous. So it will make 50. So we completed our cumulative frequency table here. Then next is on the grid, draw the cumulative frequency diagram to show this information. Okay, let's draw. First of all, from 0 to 10, 10 boxes, it means each box is 1. From 0 to 10, 10 boxes, so each box is mean is 1. So the first value for, because on this side is mass and on this side is the cumulative frequency. I have to draw the curve now. For less equal to 10 is 3. Okay, 10 and 3. So this is 10, 1, 2, 3. That will be the first point. For less equal to, next it is for less equal to 22. It is for less equal to 25. It is 22. So 25. This is 25. So 22 will be this one, because the mass less equal to 25. So go in front of 25. 22. Then for less equal to 35 is 43. So where is 35? Here is 43. All right, let's go to 43. Here will be 35. So 40, 41, 42, 43. That is 43. Then for less equal to 40 is 48. Less equal to 40 is 48. So 48 is here. 50, 49, 48 is this. And for less equal to 50 or 50. So that will be. So now just join this curve. On the paper you can join more better. I'm using an electronic pen obviously. So just a solid line, try to make that one. So this will be the curve. We can have that. Okay. So we draw the diagram here. Simple, not difficult at all. Hope so you understood that. Then part 3 is saying use the diagram to find an estimate of the number of children with a mass of 32 kg or less. Now where is the number 32? This is 32. So from 32 draw the line that should go to the curve, because we are looking for less than 32. So from here, this is 32. Draw the line and go straight to the curve. Where it touch the curve, from there you should go to the sorry, yes. Now go to the other end where this number will be. Yes, this number. It means all these numbers are less than, all these numbers are less than. Right, so this number is 40, 39, 38, 37. This is actually 37. So we will say the total number of the person who are having a value less than that are 37 here, as according to our curve. So 37 will be the answer to that one. Okay, next, a cumulative frequency diagram is given. On this side, cumulative frequency, and on this side, the height is given. The height of the tallest student is 1.83 meter and the height of the shortest student is 1.45. It means this value is 1.45. meters. What you have to do on this grid, draw a box and whisker plot for the height of 100 students. Okay, for whisker box plot, you need the tallest is 1.83. Okay, between 1.4 and 1.5, the total number of boxes are 10. Means the 10 boxes are making equal to just 0.1. It means one box is equal to 0.1 divided by 10, which will be 0.01. Now, if you need 1.45, where 1.45 will be? 1.45 will be like this, will be 1.41, 1.42, 1.43, 1.44, 1.45. So this is 1.45. So you can make a line here for the box plot for the lowest value. Okay, this is the line for the lowest value. For the highest value, 1.83, where the 1.83 will be 1.81, 1.82, 1.83. So this will be 1.83. Just go to this one. This is 1.83. Okay. Now, what's next you need? You know, when we make the whisker box plot, here we have it in this form. This is the lowest value, highest value. Then we have the median. We need the median. We need the Q3. We need Q1 also. So for the 100 students, the total number of students are 100. Okay. So it means Q1 is the fourth. Q1, if I will say, it will be 100 divided by 4, mean 25. So from 25, where is 25 here? Here, this will be, in this case, if I'm going on that side from 0 to 20, there are 10 boxes. It means each box is 2. So 22, 24, this is 25. This is 25. From 25, draw the line where it will go here, and then from here, I have to go down. And which value is that one? Write this value. This value is 1.51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. So this is 1.57. It means Q3 is 1.57. As we found Q1 is 1.57. So 1.57 will be this one, 5657. So here, make that one as your Q3, the lower quartile. Upper quartile will be 3/4, 3/4 of the total values. That will become 75. So 75 from here, where the 75 will be, this is 60. Here, this will be 70, 72, 74, 75 will be this one. Okay, so from here, this is 75. And then take it down. This will be the value. So 1.71, it means that is the Q3. 1.71, this one. So make this one. Now, in between that, make the box. Now, only one thing remaining is the median. The detailed video about the box plot, whisker box plot is there, you can watch. Go to the median now. Median is the 50%, mean 100 divided by 2. 50, and from the 50, draw the curve. Where is the 50? Here is the 50. Draw the line from 50. And what value of the height you got, that will be. Now from here, and go down from here. This one. So it will be 1.61, 62, 63, 64. So 1.64. So this is 1.64. Where is 1.64? This is 1.64. This one. So we completely draw the whisker box plot that was required to find. So always follow these steps while drawing the whisker box plot.